This is the Akko Mod 7 V3 Via keyboard kit from Akko, obviously the third generation of the Mod 7. This is the grey version and it's dressed in a set of GMK Retrowave keycaps and a set of hand-lubed BBN Linear switches. Under the hood we've got a per key flex cut 1.2mm PCB, which is way overkill in terms of cuts in my opinion, and pretty much dictates the use of at least plate foam. It's a wired only hot swap PCB without RGB, so probably not for you if wireless or RGB are must-haves. It also comes with both FR4 and polycarbonate plate options in the box, and I've opted for the polycarbonate on this build as the FR4 plate is also per key flex cut, which makes switch installation a real pain as the plate gets pinned down on every single switch. To be honest, it's a shame they cut the FR4 plate to this extent, as it would have otherwise offered a stiffer plate option alongside the polycarbonate. The stabilizers are the pink double shot Akko set, which I've used before and really like. They came pre-lubed and assembled in the bag, but needed a syringe lube job to get rid of some rattle. The mount on this one is a gasket mount with 8 silicone gaskets, 4 top and 4 bottom, installed on the plate and sandwiched by the case. I'm running with plate foam on this through necessity, as it's too thin and hollow sounding without it due to the flex cut 1.2mm PCB. I've run with the case foam as the keyboard has way too much flex, and the case foam provides some support from underneath. I've tested other configurations, but this is the one I find to be the best suited to my taste. I've also force brake modded the case, as there was plenty of resonance even with the dampening foams in place. There is a switch sheet included, but I've not installed it on this build. There are good and bad bits about this keyboard. We'll start with the bad, and the most significant is that Akko have gone way too far in terms of creating flex. A 1.2mm per key flex cut PCB is just too much in my opinion, as it goes beyond flexible and into the realm of flimsy feeling. With both plate offerings also being extremely flexible, polycarbonate inherently and the FR4 because it's also per key flex cut, then add on top of that they've run with outside gaskets, you just get too much rattly plate and PCB movement instead of the softer but isolated typing feel you should get. At the sides, the plate and PCB assembly drops away under any pressure, and if you apply pressure to the middle row, it literally starts feeling like it's going to fold in half. Not situations you get in normal use, but it's just too much, and you can feel the impact of the keystrokes on all the other keys right across the keyboard. Conversely, the case is really nice. Clean and simple lines with some machined embellishments, the brass coloured mid-frame piece and the matching weight, all tied together with this high quality grey coating. It's really nice. The only other small niggles I had were that the encoder knob isn't true, so wobbles when you rotate it. I had to cut the switch pin under the JST connector as it prevented plugging the daughter board into the PCB, and the daughter board wire is too short. Generally speaking though, it's a bit off balance for me, this one. It's a swing and a miss on the plate and PCB assembly, as there is just too much flex and you have to use foam, but the case is really nice. It would be so much better to at least have the option for a 1.6mm PCB and a metal plate, as you would likely have the option of running no foam and would have a less flexible typing feel for those who prefer it. In short, the typing feel is not for me, as I don't like the feeling of the whole plate and PCB bouncing on every keystroke, but the typing sound is actually really nice and not too foamy if you run without the switch sheet as I have. Take a listen for yourself.